Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS. This is where we come and pull cards for all of the astro transits of the week ahead. I am Mimi and I am here with Nikki and Leela.
Yay! Hi.
So we wanted to open by reminding people again, we're coming into the time where we're going to do our Gaia GPS live workshop. So I'm going to hand that over to Nikki just to say a few things.
Yeah, so we still have tickets available for our live event in LA. We're going to be in North Hollywood, California, December 2nd between 2 and 6 o'clock. We're going to go over the astro year ahead for 2018. So we have some big shifting going on. We have, right before we go into 2018, we have Saturn going into Capricorn. And as Saturn goes into Capricorn, we're going to have a whole lot of things changing. And you Capricorns are going to be going through a Saturn transit. So we want to make sure that we prep everybody to see what we have going on. And then also, after we do our hour and a half, 2 hour lecture on the year ahead, we're going to give you a chance to have your own little hot seat reading where we find something within your chart that you will be working with and give you a little support and navigation through that particular year for you. So we do this very similar to what we're doing, but it's going to be a lot of fun. But also, we're gonna go deep. We also have a full moon right on like that day or the day after. So we'll do a little bit of a full moon release with all of that as well. So we're throwing everything in the kitchen sink and maybe even a baby.
Woohoo, look at that sweet thing. I love her. All right, so that being said, come join us. You can buy tickets at GaiaBlooming.com. You can email me if you have any questions about it, mimiclark@gmail.com. And thank you to the people who have already purchased tickets. We are looking forward to all of you. And by the way, I just want to add, like it's legit. We are going to print out your charts and go through your charts as an individual, each person. I know Nikki's sending out emails to people who have purchased the tickets. I've gotten one person's details for their chart. So if you're watching this, send me your info so we can print out your chart and have it in time.
It's in the email. I put it in the email.
Yeah, check out that email and then send that info to me. All right, so let's dive into this week. We have a little bit of a week of shift. We have the sun shifting into Sagittarius today. We have Neptune going direct after 5 months being retrograde. But before that, we are getting serious with the moon in Capricorn. And that's actually kind of relates to the first card that I have. I have the Master card. So this Master card is taking us with Sun finishing up in Scorpio into Sun in Sagittarius. I feel like that, Mahalo is very noisy today. That transformation is very alchemical. And I feel like to live our highest and best, we really do have to be in our mastery. To me, mastery is about knowing who you are and showing up in that energy, no matter what you're faced with. So as we finish up Sun in Scorpio and move into Sun in Sagittarius, we have to stand in our truth, but really allow the fires of transformation to move through us. So as we finish up, that's how the moon in Capricorn is asking us to show up. That being said, I actually do have some beautiful cards that go along with this mastery. I have creativity. Creativity, that's the Empress card. Are you showing up in a way that is nurturing you in and through this process? Are you showing up for yourself? Are you listening to your inner yin and letting your yin guide you through this? Speaking of letting your yin guide you, that's what I have with this, the inner voice, your intuition, letting your intuition be part of your mastership. Now, Capricorn can get very caught up in like, this is what's happening and this is what society wants from me. Well, the overall universe, the structure of things, wants you to honor this part. So please, as part of your mastery, listen deeper in. How are you meant to show up, nurture yourself, support yourself in and through these transformations that are taking place over the next couple days? I am using new cards. I got the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards, and I have the Joy and the Delight cards. Open your heart to joy. Like I said, finishing up the Scorpio process, you know, tomorrow, the 21st, we're going through 29 degree Scorpio through most of the day. And then we're hitting that Sagittarius point at like 7:05 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's the time it shifts. So the transformation process, as you know, you've been going through Scorpio with all of us. It's pretty intense. But to me, this card is like, keep reaching for that joy. Keep reaching for that light. Realize you have butterfly wings at the other side of this process. Look, she has wings. She has wings, and she's like there, kind of, you know, reaching there with the light. That is so important in this process. That 29-degree energy of Scorpio is so intense. Reach for the light as part of your mastery, as part of your self-nurturing, and even as part of your like inner voice. Oh, this is very interesting. Even as part of your inner voice process. That's very interesting. I also have the ear chakra cards, listening. The thing that's coming up that's very interesting, this is something that's really clear to me right now. So, and I don't want to say this to be scary. This is not to scare you. My mom is going through a very interesting...
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Leela. Thank you for that. My mom is going through a really interesting process where she's always had my dad grounding her, and she's, you know, in her twilight years. And she has been hearing voices. Now, some of them may be related to some of what's going on in her brain and mind, and others I do believe are related to the connection that we have as a family. We have, you know, deep psychic connection. So she's like finally actually opening up to that. Now, the thing is, what I'm saying, where we want to reach for the light, she listens to a lot of darker stuff. And those are the voices that are coming to her, are that reflect that. So in this, as you're listening into your intuition, I think that this is part of the mastery process. I think this is part of noticing, and I'm part of these cards, you know, listening to that ear chakra. Notice the energy field that you are in. Sometimes we hear these messages that we take as our intuition, and they are kind of these lower vibrational messages, and they're reflecting some areas where we are carrying some of that lower energy. I have a friend who's a psychic who says that she only, well, I have a few people, I'm getting both of them. She only talks to benevolent light energy. Another person says she only sticks to source, unconditional love energy. And I think that in this energy, finishing up the Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, and knowing that we're going to continue with Jupiter through Scorpio over this next year, to hold that power of the light, I think will be really important. I think Capricorns, I think this is part of the mastery process as we finish up. Remember that. Hold yourself in the light. Clear yourself to support that process, because there's a lot of things out there, and it's just really good to be aware of what's going on. Nikki?
Well, it's interesting because as I have some interesting cards around this, and as we shift into that, ooh, yeah, this is my Lala, I
have Mahalo over here. Leela will be Mahalo and Leela will be.
She wants to be with me, because if I put her down, she's like, rah, rah, rah. So I'm like trying to like, this is what you do. I'm a working mom with a baby on my hip. So what I'm getting, it's a very interesting energy. So I'm just going to read the cards straight up, because I'm getting this with this Capricorn energy, but I'm also getting a little energy for Capricorns as well. And usually I don't, when we shift into moon, you know, but this is a Capricorn energy, because you guys are about to go into a very interesting time next month when Saturn goes into your sign. So I want to talk a little bit about the cards I'm getting. So we have to look a little bit in our past position. We have the change card in reverse. What are we unwilling to change, and what have we been unwilling to change in our life? So what I'm getting here is, first I have the understanding card in reverse. This card is telling me that we have kept ourselves trapped in something way too long. So with everybody, not just Capricorns, with everybody, I want you to notice what you are where you're having resistance to change, what you're having a hard time letting go of, and what are you keeping yourself in that isn't working anymore. Because I have the regeneration card in reverse. This card says, literally, if you read the protection message for this card, I know, Lily. I know, baby. When we're done, I'm going to put you down. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So this is saying you must let go of what is no longer serving you. You must let go of anything that is eluding you right now, because what you're holding on to is literally keeping yourself from growing and keeping you from what you really want. And I have this time to go card in reverse. This says that it doesn't matter if you let go of it. Let it go. If it comes back to you, then you know. I know that's like the cliche like saying, right? But it's like, let what no longer serves you, or let go of what is eluding you go. Nothing that is actually yours will ever elude you. It can come back healed. So having that courage. But I'm getting a little bit of this control thing, right? So Capricorn deals with control. So we are scared to let this go because we're scared of the unknown. We're scared to let go of maybe that control over somebody else, or even control over ourselves, right? So we must let go, because this might not be a person, even though I get the soulmate card, so it might be a person. And that doesn't mean that it's a lover. It could mean a friend, a family member, but you don't even have to necessarily let go of them. You have to let go of the expectation. You have to let go of the outcome. You have to let go of the outcome is what I'm getting. And so underneath it, I have this guilt card in reverse. And I think, like Mimi talked about, it's funny, it's blocking us from our inner guidance. And what Mimi was talking about is like, how do we discern the voice of God in the voice of our wound, right? And I always say this, I know it's kind of silly, but how do you tell the difference between Mufasa and Darth Vader? They're both played by James Earl Jones, right? It's the same freaking voice. But we have to learn that discernment. What is the wound? What is the inner voice? And I'm thinking that the reason why you haven't been able to let this go, I'm thinking you're listening to the wound and not the actual inner voice. Because the inner voice just wants you happy, and the inner voice is telling you, let go, let go, let go. Let what needs to die, die, because then it can be reborn. But if we hold too close and we hold too tight to it, then we're never allowing it space to breathe and letting it go. Sorry, this baby's like, meh, 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 meh.
I love it. She's adding a great energy to this. Hi, Leah.
So that is all I have for that. And then I'm going to put her down because she's getting finicky. So let me see. Let me give her to Katie.
All right. So our next transit is the sun into Sagittarius. That is happening. We're all excited about that. That is happening on Tuesday evening, 7:05 p.m. Pacific time. Now, I do think this Saturn and Sagittarius transit is going to be interesting. We have Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius, hanging out in Scorpio for the next year. So that's going to take, Sagittarius energy into that level. Also, for this month, just this month, we are down to a month, we are finishing up Saturn in Sagittarius. And, it's going to be those final degrees of Saturn hanging out in Sagittarius. So Saturn is going to be pushing the mastery process, which means we are going to be really moving through, looking at our beliefs, looking at these truths, looking at these lessons that have come up for you in these last 2 years. And Saturn is responsibility. And how are you showing up? How are you showing up for your truth? How are you showing up in your responsibility? So this is going to temper the Sagittarius energy. That being said, the cards that I have are like, still think Sagittarius, still take aim, still expand. From the Sacred Traveler, which I think is so Sagittarius, which is why I'm using these. And then Osho, I have traveling and the vast vistas. And the vast vistas energy is expand your horizons. And the travel card, whether it's through traveling or opening up your mind, that's what this energy is about. And that is Sagittarius at its highest, is like, oh, look at all these things. There's so much for me to learn here. Wow, horizons, I'll never know it all. And so we want to keep that open perspective between the Jupiter and Scorpio lessons and between these Saturn and Sagittarius lessons. That is going to help and support us moving through it. Now, that's some other interesting things. It's really interesting because, like, I have those traveling cards, but I also have the outsider. And so this card, you know, there he is with the gate locked, standing there, looking at those bright future. Here it is. Like, this is where I want to go. I keep thinking of the line, like, run like somebody left the gate open. I keep thinking of that line. But I've got the outsider and I've got slowing down. I think Sagittarius may feel a bit like that. And I feel like it might be that Saturn influence. Moment by moment, pay attention to what's going on. Moment by moment, to listen to how you are being called to show up and expand. Oh, you got moment to moment. Yay. Good, because I don't have moment to moment, but it feels very real. Moment to moment, how are you being called to stand up and show up in your truth? And even as you do that, moment by moment, notice how you're also being called to expand. Because sometimes, even Sagittarius can be notorious for this, you know, as the know-it-alls, know-it-all philosophers. We're like, this is the truth, and this is the only truth, and that's it. And that's why we have these first cards. No, you're meant to expand. You're meant to be growing in and through this, but you have to be true to you. I don't have the politics card, but none of the politics, none of those masks. What is true to you? And can you honor that? Can you show up in that energy? Sagittarius really wants us to. And from that place, we take aim and we reach success. I have from the angel therapy cards, I have the manifestation power. And that's what it is. Like Sagittarius is about, I see these high heights. I see this destination that I want to go to, and I know I can reach it. Sagittarius is the archer. I know I am a Sagittarius, taking that aim. So we want to take that aim, and it is. It's manifestation power. It's just going to take time. It's going to take moment to moment. And Sagittarius can be a bit like Sunday morning inspiration, like, I'm a fire sign, I'm inspired now. And the next day be like, it hasn't happened for me yet. I give it up. Don't do that. This is a month-long marathon. We're doing this, and we've got this. To finish up, got two last interesting cards. I have the King of Water, healing in reverse, and courage in reverse. This could be related to the masculine, which Nikki's been pulling the last 2 weeks. You've been pulling a lot of cards about the masculine healing. So this could be related to that if you've been watching our GPS and following that trajectory. This could be young healing. This could be some emotional healing going on. But my feeling is like, oh, what do you have right there?
Yin and yang.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Come with this. But, you know, look at these pictures. Here we have in the center of this, hard to see, this flower. And here we have this flower that's blooming. You know, a big part of truth, we get stuck in, oh, this is so Sagittarius. We get so stuck in truth being in our head. And that's not where truth resides in us. I do feel that truth resides a lot lower in us. And so I think that might be what this is. There may be some healing going on for the masculine. They may be, you know, resisting the heart energy or your yang energy. But even beyond that, I think it's a reminder, don't get stuck here. That's not where the healing is. That's not where the expansion is. And that's not where your truth is. Drop in deeper. Drop into the courage of your heart. Drop into the wisdom of your lower chakras to help you stand in that truth and to help you open up, because it's the mind that wants to trap you in those like small-minded thoughts. That it's the mind where you get caught in smaller horizons. But when you drop in here, that's when you're going to be able to open right up into those vast, vast vistas. Expand your horizons by dropping down in here. It may be a bit of a challenge. I mean, these cards are reversed. It may be a challenge, but that's what we want to aim for, I believe, during this time of Sun in Sagittarius. Nikki?
Lou was kind of mad at me. I might have to go grab her again. I guess Katie, I don't know. Katie can't get her to stop. She might have to eat. So I might have to blank out my screen while you're talking next. Just TMI, no, it's whatever. All right, so what I'm getting is, I'm getting a lot of that too. I do have this kind of masculine energy. And it's funny what you were saying, moment to moment, say moment to moment with your truth. Because to be honest with you, I think your truth is changing. And I think what you believe in is changing. And I also think that sometimes what happens is something's true for us for a specific time, and that we have to believe something to be true to get us to a specific place. But then the truth starts breaking apart, and we start seeing a situation from a different perspective. And it's really hard to let go of that identity or let go of what we thought to be true in the past. But that's why it's saying a lot, like I'm getting a lot, to stay moment to moment. And if you're being asked to let go of something that you thought was true in the past, and it's no longer holding true anymore, it's only your attachment to that that will make it painful, because you might want to continue to hold on to this old truth that no longer serves. So instead of looking at things as right and wrong right now, what you have to say is, does that belief or does that truth that I thought was really true, does that serve me now? What serves and what doesn't today? That's what Sagittarius is really, really saying is, I'm trying to point you in a new direction. And yes, we had to dangle a specific carrot in front of your eyes for a certain amount of time, but now we're changing direction, so the carrot might change. Can you let go of the carrot? And this reminds me of a Sagittarius friend of mine, Katie, who's here, which is so funny that you say that, like, I'm so good, I can do this. No, it's taking too long, I'm done. Like, that's Katie every day. I've seen her do it every day. And I'm like, oh my God. It reminds me of Rapunzel, like, I love my tower, it's the greatest day ever. I'm such a bad person. You know? And so what is it making, what are you making it mean? Really, what are you making you letting go of this particular dangling carrot? Because for her to get out to Boulder, she thought she was going to be going to college here and CU. I was told by my guidance system that let her think that, but she's not going to CU. She's going to be doing schooling in a different way. But to get her out here, she needed the motivation to think she was going to college. But as soon as that carrot dangled away, they threw the carrot out and was like, this is where you're going. She was like, oh, no, like, what does this mean for me? And I'm like, just let it go. It was always supposed to be. You needed that idea. They incepted an idea so you can get to the place they wanted you to be. So that's the energy that I'm getting for this, especially as you guys are getting out, like as Sagittarius gets out of Saturn, that I think there was a lot of dangling carrots for everyone. They needed to like pull you to a different place. So now I think the carrots are going to be cut. you guys, like, I think everybody's getting new carrots.
Can I just have like a piece of cake or something? I like carrots, but I like enough with the carrots. I'm ready for dessert.
Yeah, I don't want raw carrots anymore. Like, give me cake. Give me like soup. I don't know, something else.
Yeah,
I like soup.
I over here cake. You'll have your soup. You know, whatever that is. Yes.
But, and I know you guys been in this postponement, and I know that you're feeling a little frustrated if you had this dangling carrot and it's not coming to fruition. I know it might be exhausting. But I also do get there's a breakthrough. There is a breakthrough coming. And what I think is really interesting is I got the yin and the yang, which, let me see if I can get a little bit of information about the yin and the yang. You might be getting a little help from this to find that balance of the yin and the yang. Because I also think that there's a little bit of energy of needing to know when to be receptive and then know when to act. And then receive and then to act, and then receive and then to act. Now, this seems like a different message, but you Sagittarius is like a lot of this and that and put it all together. But I don't think it's a separate message. For some way, it's like, this is the way that we're having you take action. You're receiving this information, you're taking action. So receive new information and then take action from there. And stay in the moment, because we're giving you new information to take action on. You have to listen and you have to stay in the moment. And then I got another little bit of that male energy. You know, there's a male energy ready to be empowered. However, it's up to them. So if you're a woman right now and you're kind of waiting on your partner to kind of show up for you, like, yay, that's even me. Like, yay, my husband is getting into his creativity and he's kind of going for his passion again. So it feels like we've been waiting for a long time for the masculine to really get there. And I really do think that they will. But we also have to let go of that expectation for them, because it might not look the way we wanted them to look. You know, it might not be the vision we had for them. It's the vision they have for themselves. So you got to let them make their choice too. That was all over the place, but I think it made sense.
I think it really does make sense. And it really, to me, goes so back to what I was saying too. Like, there's this new information, but like it's coming in and it may not be what you think it is. If you're stuck in these like small horizons in your mind, you're not going to get it. And it really also translates into my next cards that I have, because we're moving into Neptune direct, and I have cards that are talking all about like impasse, the Ice Queen, isolation. And to me, these cards are like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, you've been working this thing. And so Neptune in Pisces is very, very karmic. And going through Neptune retrograde in Pisces, it has been unwinding these karmic things. And this may be part of this redirection. So I'm going to start with this impasse energy. Like I said, Neptune's been retrograde since June 16th. Impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. So this goes really well with what Nikki was just saying. The card meaning is turning back isn't necessarily a failure. Sometimes it's the wisest thing you can do. If there's an area in your life where there's an impasse, the universe is telling you this is the time to reflect and redirect your energy. Just like she talked about Katie's story, there may have been these situations that you have been in that had some karmic energies that need to unwind. And this is why we have to be very clear moment to moment, because we get like, I have to finish the goal. I have to attain the glory. And Spirit right now is like, stop, drop, roll, turn back. You got your lessons. Now let that go. The Ice Queen is kind of like that. The Ice Queen has come to block your movement for your highest good. So we have impasse with Neptune going direct. We have the Ice Queen blocking our progress for the highest good right now. Now it's interesting because anytime a planet goes like retrograde or direct, like there is kind of a little like, ooh, lull, slowing down thing that goes on in and through this. But my feeling is, yes, this has to do with some of these karmic situations. We have to open up our minds to possibilities beyond what we thought that we knew. We have to open up our hearts to trusting the nature of the universe, that we're being guided in a beautiful way for our highest good. And we have to be willing to stop. I don't know. I don't like the saying that's popping in my head, like, but stop pushing this thing that you have been pushing that isn't moving. Get the lesson. Get the karmic lesson in this and unwind that. And that's what I'm getting so strongly from these three cards: impasse, the Ice Queen, and even isolation. Like, this has been you pressing on this glass. And to be fair, this card has this person crying some rainbow tears, some golden rainbow tears that actually do help break through. Pisces is a water sign. Neptune is in Pisces. There may be some emotions that need to be processed, which is why this thing is still up for you. So process these emotions, but be willing to redirect yourself and be willing to hear and listen how that is. Speaking of being willing to listen, that's the other card that I have. The guidance card, and again, slowing down. Go slow with this. Listen deep to your inner guidance. Listen to yourself. Process whatever emotions are coming up. This is what this feels like to me. More of this redirection. Going for cake instead of carrots, or soup if you are a soup person. Into this new direction. Like I said, Neptune direct is so amazing because Neptune retrograde really does go through and like old karmic energies. Chiron is currently retrograde in Pisces, and in the next like week or so, Chiron is also going to be going direct. So we're coming out of these, retrograde energies that had us digging into these old things. What have you released, or what is up for you to release? Listen into that and be willing to shift your direction. The final card from the Ascended Masters is the Ascended Masters. The final card is from Angel Therapy, and it's the Ascended Masters. Powerful, loving, wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. Guidance. You are being guided in this. Open your horizons. Open up your mind. You're not going to be, But that's the thing. I think this is the fear. The isolation card is the fear. I'm going to be left here. I'm going to be alone. I'm not going to have what I want. Good things aren't going to happen for me. Remember the wisdom of Sagittarius. Reach for the light. That's simply not true. You're never alone. You are being guided in and through this, but you need to remember and trust that this, whatever is going on for you, is happening for your highest best, for your highest good. And hold that point of light, whatever happens this week. Nikki?
Yeah, I like that impasse. I do feel the impasse. I feel, I think we're all kind of going through a little bit like, hold on, take a moment, take a pause, and you don't have to do a full 180, but there are certain subtle things that we're going to have to go through. There's also something very interesting that I'm getting from these cards as Neptune goes direct. I feel a little bit like the child stamping his feet going, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so tired of growing. I'm so tired of having to be the mature one all the time. It's such a burden. I'm exhausted and I don't want to do it. I don't want to. And it's funny because I actually did that yesterday. Like literally.
Yesterday, I was going to tell you, I did that last night.
I did it yesterday. So I'm still like in the middle of unpacking everything. And me and Ryan are about to hit a road trip because we're going out to California, as you guys know. And I'm sitting here unpacking all the piddly stuff. Like when you get to I have to put all the piddly stuff on the bookshelves and try to figure out where things go. And we're literally, my Taurus husband's like pushing me to do this. And I'm going, I will do this as long as I can say, I don't want to do this right now. So the entire time I'm doing that, right? So this is kind of what, so this is kind of the energy that I'm getting. And I'm getting like, does it ever end? Does the work ever end? I don't want to do this work anymore, and I don't want to grow anymore. Can you just leave me alone? I'd rather go back to my coping mechanisms and pretending like everything's okay. I don't want to grow anymore. All right, right? Flowering card in reverse. I don't want to grow anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm being stretched to my limits, and just leave me alone. Ignorance was bliss. And why, oh, why didn't I take the damn blue pill? I hear you. It's exhausting. And that there's a point where, yes, we need to listen to that voice a little bit. Because maybe we are a little exhausted. And maybe this is hard to stretch. And I want to put a Band-Aid on it and say everything's okay. But I also have the politics card underneath that. That voice is that ego self not wanting to grow, and also that self-pity. I'm pitying myself because this life is hard. I hear you. I can't make it better. I want to kiss the boo-boo and say it's going to be all better, but I get it. I hear you. We've all been through that time where we're like, I don't want to, and we stamp our feet and we just don't want to go anymore. And we're exhausted. Then I have this new life in reverse, okay? So the new life in reverse is telling me that be easy on yourself. And I really want to just say this because I know we're all like over it. And this Scorpio, you know what, to be honest with you, this Scorpio season, and even Jupiter in Scorpio too, when we're going into those deep crevice work, it's like, I'm done. I even had a friend that would call me and was like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, what else are you going to, like, where are you going? But, this Scorpio season has been rough. With the Jupiter in Scorpio, it's been rough. Now, in Sagittarius, I think we're going to have a little bit of a lighter kind of thing going on. That might be a little bit more optimistic. We might feel with the holidays, but the holidays can be hard too, depending on where you're at, right? So I'll give you this. You must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like a delicate new bud opening. Okay. It's okay to admit you might not know something. You're at the beginning of things and you haven't hit your stride yet. Be immersed in the newness of it all and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life really does love you. And I know it feels exhausting and I know it feels tired, but one thing that we can do, and now I have the in card in reverse, so I picked it again, but now it's in reverse. And it's saying, maybe it's time for you to just relax and receive. Maybe you don't have to do the work. And I've seen so many people putting so much hard work. Sometimes we have to let go of the yang energy of the work, the inner work, and just replenish. So the work right now just might be putting the work down and allowing yourself to heal. And allowing the process to heal you instead of you working so freaking hard. And that's what I'm getting. It's like, you know what? Trust and heal. Trust and heal. You don't have to do much right now. Like, we're telling you that we're giving you all this information, but at the end of the day, if you're tired of it and you want to, I don't want to, like, don't do it for a week. F it. I know that sounds weird, but relax. Just relax. You know, the work, you can always pick up the work where you left off. And that rejuvenation time might be good. So I'm getting, we just went through a really big cycle of unraveling a lot of our karmas in this Neptune, and I think we deserve a little bit of a break.
I pulled last night, I have this deck called the Sacred India Tarot, and I've been just pulling my own personal cards from it, and that's what I got last night. I got a card, I feel like it was the Knight of Pentacles, but I'm not sure. But that was like they have a bottom line information. It was like, choose forgiveness, and then sit back and let the universe do everything else. And I was like, okay. So it's basically that plus the forgiveness part. And sometimes forgiveness is not just even forgiving the other person. It's forgiving you or your higher self or the universe for these lessons that you've been going through. Because sometimes I sit down with my higher self and I'm like, what were you thinking? Huh? Like, really? Really? Okay. We have those kind of conversations often these days. So.
Well, and I also get, like, sometimes we have to forgive ourselves because, like we said, we're at that impasse, right? So we have to forgive, our guidance system for having to give us the carrot we needed to go through. Because how many times, and I want to talk about this just slightly, how many times have we I followed what spirit told me, and now I feel like I'm in a dead friggin' end. Like, what the hell was that about? Why did you tell me to do this? I'm a little resentful now, to be honest with you, because I followed your instructions perfectly, and now I feel like I've been slamming my head against the freaking wall, and there's nothing for me here. And then they go, hee, there wasn't anything for you here. We just wanted to show you that there was nothing for you here. And I'm like, well, that pisses me off. And they're like, yeah, but you needed to go all the way down that path to realize that that's not for you. And I'm like, ugh. And then I have to, at the end of the day, they wouldn't have done that if I wasn't so damn stubborn to think that's what I wanted. We tried to tell you that's not what you wanted, but you didn't believe us, so we let you go all the way down that path to the path of, like, nothingness. And now you've got to go, okay, now I know there was nothing for me there. And then you have to, at the end of the day, yes, you got to forgive them, but they were only giving you that because now we have to forgive ourselves. Because we're the ones that were being so darn stubborn to think that's what we wanted. Whether that was a job, a career, fame, a lover, whatever that was. Whatever it was, money, you know. I've done it on many different things. I've done it with relationships. I've done it with jobs. I've done it with business partners. And I had to go down a path where I went, that wasn't for me. And I had to play it all the way through. And that's what I'm getting.
Neptune. You know, that's what the thing about Neptune is, like, it's the illusion, and we get caught up in that illusion. You get caught up in the tide. Like, yes, this is the thing. This is going to make me happy. And Spirit's like, well, we can't. We're just, no, that's not it. But okay, if you're going to do it, like, let's go see it. Oh, wait, that's not what makes you happy, is it? Okay, lesson learned this time around. Let's go dive into the next illusion. I mean, Neptune's always that process, so there's always that potential. But I mean, that's what we're here doing. And I think that's part of the forgiveness process, is realizing we're here to go down the paths and learn the lessons. And I do think anytime we learn the lesson, like, we're helping the collective consciousness. Not to say that they don't need to walk down that path and go down the lesson, but still, each time we do, we rise a little bit and help everybody else too. So
an illusion's a bugger, man, because you know what, honestly, illusion will make itself known as what you think your truth is. A lot of times, I mean, I've gotten caught into the illusion before. Oh my God, I almost did some really self-sabotaging, detrimental things to my family because I was following an illusion. And then something popped for me and I saw clearly and I was like, oh my God, I almost destroyed everything. And I got caught right before I destroyed everything I built. I almost destroyed everything off of an illusion. And thank God I didn't. And the bubble popped. And then I realized as I cleared through the debris that I finally, at that point, took a stand over an addiction that I used to do. And it was a validation. And it was a male addiction. I liked other validation from men. And I pulled something in and I almost destroyed my life. And from that moment, that was 3 years ago, I didn't do that anymore. But I needed that harsh lesson to finally say enough is enough to myself. And then I had to ask everybody else for forgiveness because I almost destroyed my life. So.
You took it, you know? You took responsibility for your parts in it.
But that's the energy. But that's definitely the energy I'm getting here. Like, don't destroy your life over an illusion.
Yeah. And Sagittarius is like, what's the truth? Saturn and Sagittarius and Sun Sagittarius, what's the truth? And we're peeling through these illusions. And it's going to be okay. You've got guidance through it. So, yay. All right, our next thing is the moon into Aquarius. So the moon is moving into Aquarius. It's Thanksgiving here in the States. Very interesting to have Aquarius energy for a get-together, because one of the things about Aquarius energy, one of the themes is community or friendship, you know, and sometimes our family can feel like that, and sometimes our family does not feel like that, and sometimes our family are the friends, you know, that we hang out with on this energy. I've got two different kind of stories going on. It's kind of more of the same. I have this card. I'm going to start with this. Reaching your destination. Now, what I noticed here, it says your light is shining brightly. What I noticed here, though, is this bubble energy, this little castle in a bubble. And I have that along with this shield yourself card. That's what I'm kind of feeling with this energy. Aquarius, among all its other things, is very vibrational. You may want to shield yourself in a bubble and in this energy. I have a lot of really interesting cards. The overall, this to me is like the overall card, which is the cosmos. Creativity, vastness, and it's a good card. It's only an ally card. There is no reverse in it, and so it just says, you know, this is good. This is part of your lessons. Creativity in all its forms, the principle of infinity, and the vastness of energetic exchange of consciousness. Ultimately, this is very good energy through this moon.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Little Leela has things to say. She's like, I don't know about this Aquarius energy, although she's Aquarius rising, I think.
She's Aquarius rising.
Yeah. Reaching your destination. Realize how susceptible, especially with Aquarius energy that tunes us into the vibrational things, you may be, that you can, Cosmos, reach this higher state, this higher point, that this can be a really, really good thing. But I think it's going to be by, you know, recognizing the energetic fields, recognizing the vibrational nature of everything, and getting yourself in a good place, reaching that good place destination before you go hang out with your friends, family, or anything else. And also, I think, you know, moon goes on, you know, for the next couple days. As you start your Christmas shopping, preparing and through these holidays, shield yourself. Reach your destination. Put this bubble around you. Nikki actually made for Gaia Blooming a few years ago a meme that says, I placed this bubble around me and nothing negative can get inside this bubble. And we put this energy, because that's what that reminded me of so strongly. But just realize that. Now, what I have card-wise in this, oh my God, I've got cards. I've got beyond illusion. I've got guilt. I've got intensity. I've got schizophrenia, and I've got experiencing. You know, when it comes to gatherings, any and all of these things are possible. And that can bring a lot of intensity. My feeling is if you can shield yourself, protect yourself, you are going to be beyond.
Sorry. Meow.
Poor thing. She's like, I just do not like this energy. I think that you're going to be able to get beyond any of the illusions that comes up with this. Any of that guilt stuff that comes up with the family stuff. Any of the guilt stuff that comes up with holiday time. I think you'll be able to even get beyond the intensity. You know, like, be like, I have 25 days until Christmas and I have to get presents for this person, this person, this person, this person. We get all caught up in all of these things. If you kick this off with this holiday, with Thanksgiving, shielding yourself, being in that bubble, really being responsible for your own energy, I think these experiences will be the beyond the illusion. Otherwise, it may be a bit about this. There may be that guilt. There may be that schizophrenia. Nikki and I were just talking about that before this thing. Rock in a hard place is what she said. You know, like some of your family members think this, some of you think this, and then here you are right here in this. You have to stand in and true to yourself in and through this energy. One of the things I wanted to mention too with the moon in Aquarius is that it is going to also have, we're going to have Mercury trine Uranus during this transit. So the combination She's just like, no. The combination of the moon in Aquarius plus Mercury trine Uranus is going to be super vibrational. It is going to be super electrical in nature. It's definitely going to wire our thinking quite a bit. Be aware of that, because that also may feed into the intensity, the guilt, the illusions, any of that stuff that may be coming up. Ground yourself. Ground in and through this, and then shield yourself. Shield yourself for this. Realize, though, ultimately, like, highest and best, this is a great thing. I think this is going to be more a part of these unraveling things. I think that there may be some ahas even that come through. You may realize some of those old patterns that you have fallen into with your family where you have let them take you down. Like I said, beyond that illusion. So I think it's going to be ultimately a good process. Good or bad? I don't know. Easy, hard? I'm not really sure. But the main message, shield yourself for that. And just be aware as Mercury and Uranus come into that trine, your minds may go a little bit crazy with that. And you may not sleep as well and that kind of thing. But then they'll just shift on and then you'll be okay again. You good? Are you back now?
I think I flashed you guys at one point. Sorry about that. And I just got spit up all over. That. Lovely being a working mom. And I hope I didn't flash you guys.
I didn't see it. I didn't see anything. And I think because I'm here, I think me talking means that it was focused on me, unless we left.
Well, the baby was crying, so I just pulled the thing up, and I'm like, whoops. Oh, well, you know what? It is what it is. It's all of YouTube to see. Okay, so I am going to, yeah, you know, I think it's really interesting, and I think you're right. I actually think you guys might have mom stuff. I mean, it's funny because my mom's coming here too. I think you guys are going to need to have, if your mom is here in the physical world, I think you might end up, there's something that's going to stress either you or her out. And, you know, I'm having my mom here too, and my mom has some physical things. And we might have to have a conversation about, we might have to have a conversation about her health. So there might be a conversation that might make you feel a little anxious, or it might make you feel a little stressed out, because It needs to happen. And there is a lot around healing, okay? So this is the To the Sea card. And this is like mending your net. So like really mending the relationship, but also really mending or helping them mend what they're not being able to see or what you're not being able to see, okay? So mending the relationship. And then really to start this conversation, I think we have to get to the place of why, right? So where we're coming from. The deeper thing that's going beyond this is like, why do we need to have this conversation or this healing with our mother energy? So if it's not a mom, it might be something like they passed away and you miss them and you need to heal this sort of relationship so you're not depressed every single time the holidays come around. So you might want to either light a candle for them or do an honoring or do some sort of thing of bringing them in, or if they're past and you had a bit of a separation from them and there was unresolved issues, you need to start writing them letters this holiday season, because I really think that it's still stressing you out. This might also be a motherly energy. So if it's not your actual mother, it might be like a godmother or an aunt, someone who, or grandmother who has taken that role as mother for you. It's definitely a mother energy. And I see on the horizon that there will be new possibilities to move forward, but this holiday season is going to bring up something where I'm getting poised. Like, you have to be really poised in how you feel. And like, be honest and be loving with it. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to stress you out. But time is of the essence. I have the TikTok card in reverse. So time is of the essence. Like, there is only so much that you're going to be able to say at this point. Like, you have to, there is a time frame here. Like, I'm understanding it in my own life, and I'm seeing that. I'm like, oh yeah, there is a time frame. Like, you got to do this now. You got to do this now. And there is a sense of urgency that you speak your truth with this motherly figure, because I don't know, I'm getting a health-related reason. And I know that's super specific, but I'm getting that it's not only just for me. I'm getting that it's for a lot of us. So just think about it. And if it's not for you, then throw it away. But to be honest with you, I do think that there's a time of the essence to have a heart-to-heart with your mother.
Well, it could apply to me too. So, you know. All right. So, are you finished?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Our last thing for the week is kind of following along the track of where we've kind of been going. We have the moon shifting into Pisces, 12 a.m. Sunday morning. And I'll start with this. Last one was shield yourself. Now I got clear yourself. And the other cards that I have with this, I've got 2 stress-related cards. I do have stress. And I have the resting tree in the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And the resting tree in reverse says it's asking you to consider, if you're so frenetic that all you can think about is how stressed you are, running around, overdoing anything makes you into a human doing. This is a sign to be careful, or you may wear yourself out and be unable to enjoy yourself. Be still. It's time to meditate. Take a time out, or you'll make some mistakes that you will regret later. Only move forward when you have a clear head in the future, which is funny because I always say that about this card. Like, take your monkey out for a walk, meaning take your monkey mind out for a walk. You're carrying too much. Clear yourself. Travel lightly. The moon in Pisces is a very esoteric energy. It connects us into spirituality, but it also connects us to how we are all connected into the oneness and how we all pick up and carry everybody else's stuff. So this, to me, is a reminder. Look at all these cards. Let go. Travel lightly, which is simplify your life. And in the book, I pulled this card actually for tomorrow's scope. It says, you know, what are you carrying that's unnecessary? Let that go. So let it go. Travel lightly. Clear yourself. And you're too stressed. That's the energy with this. But here we have, if you're able to do this, if you're able to realize, wow, maybe from all the holiday energy, maybe from what's going on in the world, you know, Saturn finishing up Sagittarius, there are going to be lessons that we're going to have to stand up for. the family stuff, you know, that I talked about, that Nikki talked about. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but getting ready for holidays, that can be insanely stressful. But it doesn't have to be. And this, to me, Pisces moon is like, this is your decision to put that stuff down, travel lightly, and let yourself create an enjoyable holiday season. This, to me, is the highest. You are creating your life. What are you creating in and of this moment? I also have the ripeness card. So it's like you're ready to be responsible for yourself. You're ready to take on that role where you can do these things. But this being said, it might be a little bit of a challenge. Clear yourself. Travel lightly. Like, very clearly to me, there's going to be some work. That, I mean, all of these cards, like literally all of these cards about it, there's going to be some work that needs to be done in and through this. Notice, do you feel heavy in your body? Are you exhausted for no reason? Do some things, some meditating, clear yourself with sage, take a salt bath, do some things to help release any of these energies that you may have picked up that are making you feel a little frenetic or out of balance or not completely focused in and through yourself. The last card that I also have the Thunderbolt card in reverse. Maybe some of the stuff that you're carrying around is some of these experiences, or maybe some of this, like, the impasse stuff that we talked about is kind of causing that, like, what is this all for? You know, like we said, we both have hit those points this week. There may be some of that. Clear it. Travel lightly. Okay, universe, I trust you. I got you. I get this. That's Pisces energy. Pisces is finding your way to move in trust, in faith, and in your own divine flow. It may not be easy. It may not be easy. But I think that that's what we're being called for with the moon into Pisces. Nikki?
You know, it's funny. I think it's going to be a relationship kind of. I don't know if it's an empath. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting an ultimatum energy. Yeah. Which funny, you said travel lightly because we're actually traveling on. Yeah, we're traveling on Sunday. So that was for me. Well, I'll try to travel as lightly as possible. I'm getting for the collective. I'm getting that we are at a bit of an impasse with a relationship. So this might actually be more of a friendship. It could be a lover too, because it is the friendliness card. So it could go either way, friendship or lover, or potential lover. That we're at a bit of an ultimatum point because it's either like step up, either make a commitment or I have to move on is the energy. And it could be a friendship too. And it doesn't have to necessarily be masculine. It is coming in a little bit masculine. But I have a, like, you either show up for yourself, and it doesn't even have to be show up for me. It's show up for yourself or I'm out of here. Because what I'm getting is I have now, and I also have the stress card again, but this time it's in reverse, and the new vision. You not having this new vision is stressing me out, and now I can't put myself in this anymore. That's the only way I can take responsibility for my peace, is like I'm waiting on something to happen, and I'm really clinging on to something that isn't moving forward. And so if you're clinging on to something moving forward, I think it might be ultimatum time, to be honest with you. And I'm getting like this flexible card in reverse. I think you can't be too flexible on it. I think you have to, like, that's the impasse. I really do feel an impasse of, like, I need you to show up for yourself because this is stressing me out. And if it's not, I have to let go. I have to fully let go. And whatever that means, I have to let go. And then instead of, like, really having this relationship or this, like, connection to this particular friendship or relationship, you have to then anchor into your higher self and have that strong trust into your relationship of your higher power, of spirit, knowing that they're either going to bring you to someone else that is actually ready for this new step that you're ready for. Because I think that, like, holding on to this old friendship, if it's not working anymore, is only going to be detrimental. I think you're, like, clinging on to something that's no longer working. Is there anything else? Hold on. I don't know. They're kind of giving me wonky things. Everybody's just holding on a little too tight. But that's what I'm getting. I'm getting an ultimatum. I don't know what that means for you, but I'm getting an ultimatum.
Well, we shall see. We shall see what this week brings because wow, we do a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's ultimatums are always an interesting thing, and I'm actually helping a friend right now kind of do that in his relationship, and that it's a difficult thing, but there are certain deal breakers. Like there are certain things where nobody wants to move an inch, but something's got to give. And to be honest, they're giving me a very what is that? How do you say that? Quid pro quo?
So hard to say. Quid pro quo, yes.
Yeah, I'm getting a quid pro quo kind of like energy, like this for that. So it's not compromising the self, but like, this is what I need from you. This is what I'm willing to give. And then them going, this is what I need from you. And this is what I'm willing to give. But I'm getting like a double ultimatum. Like you're getting an ultimatum and they're getting an ultimatum. But I really do think this is kind of a put up or shut up moment. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, lots of work this week. So is that it?
That's it. And I wanted it to be more fun because I'm like, is this happening in my life? Like, I don't feel like there's any ultimatum here.
Who knows what's going to transverse this week with these shifts? Like the astro stuff shifts, and then suddenly, like, everything's moving. So
I don't know what that would be on my life, but I'm like, do I have to give Ryder an ultimatum? But it might not be him. I don't know.
All right. Well,
as we talk about our own stuff, I'm like, oh my God. Because I always think about this in my life too. I'm like, how is this?
I absolutely apply all this stuff that goes through into like where it may be showing up in my life 100%. So we'll see what comes next week. Where will we be at next week? Next week for GPS. But speaking of GPS, come join us in LA for our GPS workshop. And you can find that on the Gaia Blooming website under events. I will post the link for it under this video as well. And if you have any questions, email me. I am putting out my 2018 yearly readings. Like if you want month by month readings, I'm putting that out today. So you can get that on the Gaia Blooming website as well. And of course, you can always buy a reading. Do you have anything, Nikki?
No, I would just say, like, I would commit. I'm giving you guys an ultimatum.
There you go. There's the ultimatum.
Commit to this weekend. Commit to our thing because we probably will sell out. So if you guys are on the fence, like, I book your ticket. I book your ticket sooner rather than later. So just letting you know.
Your birth info too, by the way.
What? Oh, and the birth info, right? Give us your birth info because we are going to look at your chart, and I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing those of you who will join us in LA, and we will see you next week for our GPS as well. We're going to see what happens between my birthday and Nikki's traveling, but hopefully we'll be able to show up for that. So we will see you then. Namaste.
Namaste.